fantastic representative of the pro-life community. She's a Hoosier, a self-advocate, a national pro-life speaker, and a lobbyist for the unborn. Katie serves on the board of Down Syndrome Indiana and on the board of Independent Living for Adults with Developmental and Intellectual Disabilities, where she was recently elected as president of the Self-Advocates Group. Katie has spoken at the National March for Life and has testified in Congress in an effort to protect those with disabilities from abortion. She is very active in speaking out against ableism as well. Would you all please join me in welcoming Katie to the stage?
Good afternoon. Are you guys ready to march? Are you all ready to lead America and the world to be abortion-free world? I am honored to be here to speak with you today. Before I say anything else, let me say thank you to Phoebe and Northeast Indiana Right to Life and all of you. I would like to tell you about a little about myself. My name is Katie Shaw. I'm a born and raised Hoosier from Indianapolis, Indiana. I am 37 years old and I have Down syndrome. In 2015, I was asked by Sue Spacey-Liebel, who was the VP of Public Affairs for Indiana Right to Life then, to help her lobby for a House bill to make it illegal to abort a baby because it had Down syndrome or any disability. As you can imagine, I was more than willing. So, with that beginning, I am proud to now be a national pro-life speaker. Now, I have been able to speak not only in the great state of Indiana, but also Texas, Massachusetts, South Dakota, North and South Carolina, New York, the White House with President Trump, and as a March for Life in DC last year. My parents found out when Mom was 5 months pregnant that I had Down syndrome. Mom and Dad were fearful of the unknown and scared of the medical issues that I might have to face. But the doctors did what they took an oath to do. There was no mention of aborting me. The doctors started working with my parents to plan what would be best to help me have a wonderful life God had planned for me. The day after I was born, I was baptized, and then the doctors performed the surgery they had planned for. 17 days later, I came home and helped my mom celebrate her 29th birthday. My parents declined an amniocentesis when Mom was pregnant with my sister because there were no issues. All was well until my sister was 6 weeks old. She became ill and had to be tested for meningitis. Change of plans, worries. But again, the doctors and my parents focused on what was best for Kelly. When Mom was pregnant with my brother, a test came back positive for with a disability, possibly Down syndrome. No one suggested abortion. They focused on what was needed. The follow-up test showed was a false positive. If they had suggested abortion, my now 6'2" baby brother and I would have never have had the opportunity to share each other's wonderful lives. Doctors and all of us, you, me, and everyone, can help the mother and father see what a wonderful life their baby can have. That would help the health of the mother and the baby. We must lead the world to a place of no abortions. I truly have a wonderful life, and I hope I am helping others have a wonderful life. I am sure some of you today have seen the movie, It's a Wonderful Life. If you haven't, please watch it. It's a great movie. It's about how one particular man, being born, made the world a better place. His life is not perfect. It did not go as planned. There was sorrow, money problems, and illness. But there was so much more of happiness, joy, and love. Every person in this room, with or without Down syndrome, has experienced these things. That is the part of a wonderful life God gave us. Having Down syndrome just means sometimes it might take me a little longer to do some things. But if you look to the person next to you, I am sure you don't do everything exactly like they do, right? That would be a boring world. Each one of us has our own gifts and our own challenges, but that is not what defines us. Having Down syndrome is a small part of me. I am much more defined by my Catholic faith, my career in retail for almost 13 years, the sports I play, basketball, softball, track, my activities. I like watching food and fashion shows, going out with friends, and going to book club. I am also defined by my family, politics, and where I spend my time, volunteering and relaxing. When I can. I am on the board of directors for Down syndrome Indiana, board of directors, and a self-advocate president for ILAD. ILAD is an organization for independent living adults with developmental disabilities. So, you see, I'm just like you in most ways. Each and every one of us has unique abilities. We need to help those babies to be allowed to show their unique abilities. I am so happy to be here today for the fight for the human dignity of life for all unborn babies, diagnosed with a disability or not. I believe in equality for you, for me, and everyone who has begun life in the womb. That life started the day of conception when God gave us our soul. I am proud to be here to show the world that people with a disability or not need to have a chance to show the world God's plan for them. They need a chance to their wonderful life outside the womb. I am proud to be here today with you to march and help lead the world to be abortion-free. As you can see, here I am, 37 years after my parents were told I had Down syndrome, living my wonderful life that started in the womb was meant to be. God had a plan just like He does for every baby. It makes me very sad to think of all the friends and family that I might have lost if their parents believed in abortion. And it makes me sadder to think about friends and family I have lost because they were aborted. Friends, just like they said in the March for Life in D.C. last week, we are not over abortion. We do indeed need to lead the world to be abortion-free. So, as I close, let me share Psalm 139. You knit me in my mother's womb. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works that I know full well. In your book were written all the days that were formed for me when none of them had yet existed. Thank you. God be with you. Let's lead the world to be abortion-free, starting in America, in Indiana, and right here in Fort Wayne. Here we go.